In this video, we will continue with the numericals of specific resistance. Page number 172, question number 13. 1 kilogram copper is drawn into two wires of 1 millimeter and 2 millimeter thick. Compare their resistances. 1 kilogram copper is taken and one piece is made into 1 millimeter thick wire. The second piece, which is also of 1 kilogram mass, is drawn into 2 millimeter thick wire. Let me draw the diagram. Look at the diagram. These two are the copper pieces. Their mass is same, 1 kilogram each, and they are of same material, copper. Then diameter of the first wire is 1 millimeter and the other one, its thickness or diameter is 2 millimeter. Find out the ratio of their resistances. Let the first wire be of resistance R1, second one is of R2. In previous numerical we discussed when diameter becomes half, length becomes 4 times. Diameter becomes half, length becomes 4 times. Here diameter becomes double, means length reduces to 1/4, reverse concept. If the length initially it was L, here the length will be L by 4. Okay. Now how will you find out the ratio of R1 and R2? Same concept, rho you have to find out. For the first wire, rho is R1A by L. Use the formula for rho. Here diameter is 1 millimeter, that means 10 to the power minus 3 meter is the diameter here. Here 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter is the diameter. From millimeter it is converted to meter. So rho of this first wire is R, that is R1, into pi d square by 4, that is area of cross section. A is pi d square by 4. Pi into d square means 10 to the power minus 3 square, d square by 4 into L, unknown. So this is specific resistance of first piece. Second piece specific resistance is equal to R, it is R2 here, into A, means area of cross section, that is pi d square by 4. This number, this is d. 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 square, pi d square by 4 into L. L means L by 4. L by 4 means this 4, L by 4, 4 will come here. So this is specific resistance of second piece of wire. Now you can equalize it. These two are equal. Since the material is same, specific resistance is same. So here this side you will get R1 pi into 10 to the power minus 6 upon 4L is equal to, this side you will get R2 into pi 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 all square, means square this full term, you will get 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 4. These 4 can be cancelled, so leave it, upon L. Now similar terms you can cancel. Pi is common here, 10 to the power minus 6 common, L is also common. So R1 by R2, R1 upon R2 you will get as, this 4 will go there, R1 by R2 is 16, 4 into 4, here 1 4, here 1 4. That means the ratio is R1 is to R2 is 16 is to 1. That is the ratio of resistance of these two wires. So remember the difference in case of stretching a wire and change coming in the diameter. If a wire is stretched so that its length becomes double, then initial length you have to take as L, final length after stretching 2L. Area of cross section initially A and the other one after stretching A by 2. In case of diameter, when diameter becomes double, length becomes 1/4. Okay, so be clear about it. Now listen some more numericals from page number 171. Question number 2. A metallic wire of radius 3 millimeter and length 0.314 meter and resistance 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 ohm, and its resistivity you have to find out. Use the formula rho is equal to RA by L. R is here 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 ohm, and A is here radius is given 3 millimeter. That means 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Convert into meter. 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. That is radius. So A will be pi. Pi is 3.14 into R square. 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 all square. Don't forget to put all square. That is A, and length of the wire is already given 0.314 meter. Then do the solution. Do the problem by using this formula rho is equal to RA by L. You can try by yourself. Third question. Show that 1 ampere current requires a flow of 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons per second. In one of the previous videos, we discussed the definition of 1 ampere. When can you say 1 ampere current is flowing through a wire? Here a question related to that. Imagine through a wire 1 ampere current is flowing. The current flowing is 1 ampere within a time of 1 second. How many electrons must flow through it? How many electrons should flow through this wire within 1 second so that we can say current flowing is 1 ampere? First of all, can you calculate how much quantity of charge must flow? For that, use the formula I is equal to Q by T. So what is Q? Q is I into T. I is 1 ampere and time is 1 second. So you will get as 1 ampere second is known as coulomb. So there must be a charge of 1 coulomb flowing through the conductor to have 1 ampere current per second. You are asked to find out how many electrons must flow. Quantity of charge is 1 coulomb. Then how can you find out number of electrons? For that you have to use the formula Q is equal to N into E. Q means quantity of charge, N means number of electrons, and E is the charge of 1 electron. E value is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. That is the charge of 1 electron. So N you are asked to find out number of electrons. N is equal to Q by E. Q is 1 coulomb here upon E. E means charge of 1 electron, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. When you do this calculation, you will get 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. So if 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons flow through this wire within 1 second, then we can say 1 coulomb charge is flowing, or you can say 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons are flowing through this wire. Next numerical from same page, fourth question. A current of 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 ampere means I value is given, passes through a conductor for 5 minutes. 5 minutes you must convert into seconds. 5 into 60, 300 seconds. Time 300 seconds. Calculate the amount of charge. Q you have to find out. I and T are given. So use the formula I is equal to Q by T. Q is equal to I into T. I and T both are given. Multiply with, and the answer printed here is wrong answer in your textbook. Now next question. Diagram is given. Let me make the diagram. This is the diagram given for question number 5, page number 171. Look at the circuit. The current coming in these two branches are 6 ampere each. At this junction, the current combines, and what will be the current flowing through this wire? It is the sum of these two branch currents. 6 plus 6, 12 ampere will be the current flowing through this wire. And at this junction, again it splits into two branches, and the current in this upper branch is given 4 ampere. Then out of 12 ampere, if 4 ampere current goes in this branch, surely remaining current will be flowing through this branch. So 12 minus 4, 8 ampere will be the current in this branch. This 8 ampere current again splits in two branches at this point in two parts, and the current through this branch is given as 2 ampere. Out of 8 ampere, 2 ampere went in this branch, means remaining current in this branch will be 6 ampere. So current I, what you are asked to find out is 6 ampere. Next numerical, question number 12 from page number 172. Two wires of copper having same length have radii R1 and R2. Compare their resistances and resistivities. Two pieces of copper wire having radius R1 and R2. Length is same and material is also same. Two pieces of copper wire having same length but radius are different. Radii are different. R1 and R2 are the radii of two wires. Compare their resistances and resistivities. You know resistivity will be same. Since material is same, resistivity of these two wires are in the ratio 1:1. As long as material is same, resistivity is same. Resistivity doesn't vary with the length or thickness, but resistance varies. Resistance of these two wires will be different, but resistivity will be same. So ratio of resistivity is 1:1. Reason is material is same. How will you find out resistance ratio? Let the resistance of first wire R1 and second wire is R2. You are asked to find out the resistance ratio. Again the same concept, rho will be same for both the pieces. Make a formula for rho of the first wire. Rho is equal to RA by L. Here R is R1. A, radius is given. So area of cross section will be pi R square, means pi R1 square R into R into A upon L. Length is L. Similarly here, rho for the second wire is R. Its resistance is R2 into A. Area of cross section is pi R square. Pi R2 square here in this case upon L. Then compare the resistivity. It is equal. So these two can be equalized. You will get R1 pi R1 square upon L is equal to R2 pi R2 square by L. Cancel the similar terms. Pi and pi cancels. L gets cancelled. So you will get the ratio of R1 and R2. R1 by R2 is equal to R2 square by R1 square. That means R2 by R1 whole square. Or you can write in ratio form, R1 square is to R2 square. R2 square is to R1 square. That is the ratio of resistances. R2 square is to R1 square is the ratio of resistances. You can try these type of numericals at home in exercise as well as in sample ICSE questions. There are so many questions of this pattern, and this type of questions used to come in board exam also, so you can try at home. Then among the exercise questions, I want to discuss some of the questions, and you might have already gone through the further revised syllabus. This verification, experimental verification of Ohm's law, these topics are removed from the syllabus, so you need not study all the things. And now the online classes, there is some change made. You are free to ask the doubts, queries through online. All might have seen that option, so it is good you ask the doubts through that method. If you ask personal doubts through WhatsApp, it will be difficult for me to answer to each person separately. So in this way, if I answer the queries, it can be seen by all of you. It will be helpful. So if here onwards, if you have any doubt, you may post it in the online class. Now listen to some of the exercise questions from page number 170. Question number 6. Electric current has both magnitude and direction. Is it a vector quantity? You have studied vector definition of vector quantities. It is a physical quantity having magnitude and direction. Here current has both magnitude and direction. Is it a vector quantity? You know, current is not a vector quantity, it is a scalar quantity, because just by having magnitude and direction we can't call a quantity as a vector quantity. It must obey some rules like vector addition. These things you will study in higher classes. It should obey some vector addition laws. That laws are not obeyed. So vector current is not considered as a vector quantity, it is a scalar quantity. So answer is, it is not obeying the laws of vector addition. That is the answer. So it is not considered as a vector quantity. Again same page, question number 10. What is the difference between potential and potential difference? Electric potential, you have to just give the definition of electric potential and potential difference. Electric potential means it is the measure of amount of work done by unit charge, means one coulomb charge, to move from infinity to a particular point. Then potential difference means it is the amount of work done by one coulomb charge to move between two particular points. That is potential difference. Both electric potential and potential difference are the measure of work done by the electrons. Then page number 171. There are many questions which are now removed from your syllabus. For question number 17. Circuit diagram is asked. You state Ohm's law, that part you have to answer. And circuit diagram you need not learn. And after every video here onwards, I will give the questions to answer in PDF form, and most of these questions are already there in your exercise or in sample ICSE questions. So already you are solving these exercise questions and sample ICSE questions in your notebook. So you need not answer it again and again. You go through the PDF questions. If these questions are already answered, or if it is already there in the exercise or sample ICSE questions, you need not answer it. If I give any question other than that, that question you have to answer in your copy. Again, multiple choice questions, page number 171. Second one, resistance decreases with temperature. 4. Resistance variation with temperature I discussed in a previous video. For metals, when temperature increases, resistance increases, and when temperature decreases, resistance decreases. For pure metals. For metallic alloys, when temperature increases or decreases, there is no considerable change in the resistance. Means resistance almost remain same. it remains constant. But for semiconductors, when temperature increases, resistance decreases. Semiconductors example I did not tell in the video. Silicon, germanium, these are examples for semiconductors. So here resistance decreases with the temperature for semiconductors, and among the given 4 option, silicon is a semiconductor, so that comes as the answer. So this is about Ohm's law and specific resistance. Learn the topic, do the numericals and exercise questions in your copy. Okay, thank you.